What if I told you that procrastination isn't a character flaw? It's not about being lazy, weak, or undisciplined. It's about logical error. Right now, your brain is running cost benefit analysis on every task you face. And when you procrastinate, it's because it has concluded that avoiding the task is smarter, safer, and less expensive than taking an action. It's basically a defense mechanism. But here is the critical flaw in its logic: it's misjudging the true cost. It's looking at the short term discomfort of starting and calling it a threat. It's ignoring the monumental long term price of delay. Delay that project, you're not just missing a deadline, you're trading future success for a few hours of cheap comfort. The pain of inaction, the slow burn of regret, always outweigh the acute discomfort of starting. Today, I'm not going to give you motivational fluff. I'm going to give you the system that fixes that logical error at its root. A few years ago, I was trying to launch my first major online project, right? On paper, it was my chance to build something for myself, to create the work I wanted to do. But in reality, I was completely paralyzed. Every morning, I'd sit down at my desk with the best intention, and my mind would immediately be flooded with the storm of uncontrollable worries. It was a relentless loop of what ifs. What if no one likes it? What if I fail and everyone I respect sees it? What if the deadline is too soon and I can't make it perfect? Well, these questions had no answers. They were ghosts. And because I couldn't guarantee success, because I couldn't control the outcome, my brain chaosed the logical path. Avoidance. It was clever about it too. I wasn't just sitting there doing nothing. I was engaging in what I call productive procrastination. I'd spend hours on research, falling down the rabbit hole that felt important. I'd tweak my website colors for the 10th time. I was just doing everything but the one thing that would actually move the project forward. That feeling is very weird. That feeling is like, it's very awful. The dread of starting was a constant, low grade anxiety that hangs over everything you do. It was worse than the work itself. I was trapped in a vicious cycle. The stress of the deadline led to avoidance, and the avoidance fueled even more stress and guilt. I was busy, but I was going nowhere. I was burning my energy, but I wasn't making any progress. The breakthrough didn't come from the productivity app or a new planner. It came from a simple 2,000-year-old idea from the Stoics, specifically from the philosopher named Epictetus. In his writing, he lays out the foundational principle of Stoicism. He says, some things are up to us, and some are not. That's it. That's the secret. When I first read that, it was like a switch flipped in my brain. I realized my problem wasn't a lack of willpower. My brain wasn't lazy. It was just focused on the wrong thing. I was wasting 100% of my finite mental energy on things that were not up to me, which is the outcome. The audience reactions, the fear of failure, the illusion of perfectionism or perfection. All my mental energy was going over there, thinking about all those situations. The solution wasn't to try harder. The solution was to perform a ruthless triage on my thoughts and to shift my focus only onto the things that were 100% within my control. This is what I call the control zone. It's a small, sacred space where only your choice, your effort, and your responses live. Everything else, the past, the future, all other opinions is just a noise. Procrastination lives in the noise, right? And action lives in the control zone. This is the actionable step-by-step system you can use to pull yourself out of the noise and into the control zone that you want. Step number 1. Take the project you're avoiding and do a brain dump. List every single thing that's stressing you out about it. The deadline, your boss mood, the research, the writing, the fear of judgment, the fear of that you're not good enough. All of it. Get it out of your head and onto a paper. Now, you're going to act like a surgeon. Go through that list and draw a hard line through everything that is out of your direct 100% control. Your colleagues' feedback, uncontrollable, just cross it out. The final outcome of the project, it's also uncontrollable, so you can cross that out. Whether people will take it or whether people will like it, uncontrollable, right? So cross it out. Be ruthless when you're working with that list. What you're left with is a short, beautiful list of things that are entirely up to you. This is no longer a list of anxieties. This is the real to-do list. This is your battle plan. Now we have to jump to step 2, which is define the next physical action. Look at your new shorter list. The task, write the report, is still too big, right? It's an outcome, basically, not an action. You have to write the report. It's basically just the outcome. Your brain will see it as a threat and resist. You need to break it down into smallest possible physical moment. The key here is to make the first step so easy it's almost laughable. It's not write the first paragraph, right? It's not like open the document, right? It's not like write the first paragraph. Open the document and type one sentence. It's not like go to the gym, pull on your running shoes and walk out the front door, right? Let me give you another example. It's not to clean the kitchen. It's to put one dish in a dishwasher. What this does is this bypasses your brain resistance. It's a psychological cheat code. And anyone can do one tiny physical action, right? Now that's where step 3 comes in to play. Execute a single interval. Now that you have your tiny action, you need to commit to that tiny slice of time. Don't think about finishing. Just commit to starting. The best tool for this is the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes and dedicate that time only to physical action you just defined. During those 25 minutes, nothing else should matter. You're not trying to write the whole report. You're not typing sentences. Your only goal is to show up for that one interval. Victory is basically defined as starting, not finishing. When the timer goes off, you can stop. You have won, right? The paradox is once you start, you'll often find that you don't want to stop and you want to keep going. That's like basically you're tricking your brain into doing stuff. So this whole thing that I've just shared with you and all the protocols and all the steps, this isn't just philosophy. It's backed by a decade of psychological research. The concept of locus of control, developed by Julian Rorter in the 1950s, shows that people with strong internal locus of control, the belief that they can influence their own outcome, experience significantly less stress, anxiety, or depression. They are also higher achiever. The control zone protocol is the practical method for shifting your locus of control from external source to internal. When you focus on what you can control, you move from the state of powerless anxiety to the state of empowered action. This is the system that got me out of my own paralysis. That project I was avoiding, I started by just writing one line of code or just one line of theory that this is how basically I want this project to be. That was my next physical action, right? That one line of me imagining the stuff that I wanted to get it done turned into one function. The function turned into the new feature. And that feature eventually became the first version of mytherapyresource.com. This is basically, so I'm a physical therapist assistant, and people usually have problems with documentation and being really productive. So I made that website basically to help other people to basically be productive when they're doing the job and also be really good at their documentation of daily encounter, right? I didn't thought about what people gonna think. I didn't thought about if it's gonna be worth it or not, or if anyone's gonna be using it. I just blocked all that energy and just start doing what I really wanted to do. Action breeds confidence. Each small win in your control zone trains your brain that starting isn't dangerous. It recalibrates the logical error. So now, your brain is probably already coming up with objections. Let's address them. You're probably thinking, but what if I fail? That's an outcome. It's outside your control zone. Your job isn't a guaranteed success. Your job is to make a worthy effort on the next controllable action. Another question, what if the task feels too big and overwhelming? That's your brain focusing on the finish line. Bring it back down. What's the next physical step? That's all that matters, right? Some people can ask that I don't have enough time. Is that controllable? Well, no. But how you use the next 25-minute interval, that's 100% in your control. Now, if you want to go deeper on building systems like this, that's what the 2.8 Insider Club is for. Members get access to our entire library of templates, exclusive audio recordings, and community of people who are done with generic advices and are focused on building real system. Click the link in the description below to join that club. Finally, what I have to say is, now it's your turn. Let's make this practical. And tell me, what's one controllable physical action you've been avoiding? Don't just think about it. Drop a comment below, right? The act of writing it down is itself a step into a control zone. Let's start there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.